Have you ever heard of potato onions? In this bag here, that was kindly given to me by Andrew, is a really interesting kind of crop. And he's going to tell you more about them. Plus, a couple of my colleagues have experience with this crop, namely Llŷr and Sam. So they're also going to appear on video as well, talking about their experience with potato onions. Andrew, what have we got here? This is really cool. It's really inspirational.
It's interesting, isn't it? This is our potato onion trial.
Potato onion?
So
doesn't look like a potato.
No, well, if you think of shallots, it's basically shallots, but shallots don't tend to store particularly well, and they're quite small, whereas these would have been recognisable many generations ago. This is how we would know onions. We would as bunching onions. So you would grow your bunch of onions, and then you would separate off what you needed for the kitchen, and then the rest you would plant in the ground, and then they would divide, and you'd have another bunch the following year.
So would you just say you've harvested these now, and all of these came out of a 1 by 2 meter patch?
Yeah.
Would you then when would you replant the saved ones?
Well, so traditionally you would have done the harvest and replanted straight away.
Okay.
But these are part of our trial. So these started off as seed. They came from somewhere that they got as many accessions together of potato onions, and they let them flower, and so you've got all that diversity of the genetics crossing, but you don't know what you've got until you actually grow them out. And the way that we did it, we did them in little cell trays, and we put 4 or 5 seeds in each cell, and then we grow them out as you would if you were growing onions from seed traditionally. But we tend to be a bit cruel with our trials because we want really resilient progeny.
Oh, so you're not looking to grow things to show in the local village show?
No, absolutely not. So if we grew like say we separated out the potato onions 1 per pot, and we mollycoddled them, then you'll get a potato that requires mollycoddling. So it requires all its needs given to it. So the way that we do it is to stress them, I guess, really, in a way. So we, as I say, we put about 4 or 5 seeds in each cell, and we grow them on. The weak ones die out. The ones that are strong will obviously prevail, and then you'll have a whole array of different sizes, colours, shapes, depending on the original cross. And this mix, as you can see, is quite diverse.
It is.
So that's in its first year, and then these were selected based on their ability to store that first year. So we could have left them in the ground because they're much hardier. I mean, some of the texts, research that I've read say they're hardy down to about -29 Celsius, which is very cold. This was in Finland at the university there that we're doing some research on it. But I wanted to test them for storage because that's how we would be keeping them. So we did that in the first year, and then those that did well we planted out very late, in fact about April this year.
Okay.
10 centimetres apart in a bed that's about 2 metres by less than 1 metre, and they were planted quite deep. So traditionally you would have a little, you'd see the tips if you were planting onion sets, you just have the tip above ground, but these were planted deeper than that, maybe 1 times the bulb. And the reason I did that is because we grow a lot of alliums as part of our ornamental gardening.
Yeah.
And they go 3-4 times the depth. So, maybe plants can't read and they don't know they should have their tips pointed, just above the soil. And this was the result. So until we dug them up, we'd almost given up on it because we couldn't see that anything had happened. And then as soon as we dug them up, we had all this. So now it's tricky now to decide, because we have limited space now, how we carry it forward.
Now, for people looking at self-sufficiency and resilient gardens, do you think potato onions hold a lot of potential for that?
Well, as I say, it's in a bygone age. This is how people grew them. They didn't have to have a polytunnel or a greenhouse. They didn't have to, you know, a heated environment and grow from seed and then pricking out and potting on. They were busy people, you know. And how much more simple can it be than getting your cluster of onions, pulling off what you need for the kitchen and replanting the rest?
So basically it's only because of kind of commerciality and industrial farming that gardeners grow onions the way that they do now.
Well, that's the same with a lot of crops.
Yeah.
So with a lot of bienniality is bred into crops, which wouldn't traditionally be there.
Like brassicas.
Like brassicas.
Yeah.
So I guess wild type brassicas will grow and flower in the same year, but that's no good to a farmer who wants everything precision, the same size, shape, harvesting at exactly the same time to go down with a tractor or whatever. So potato onions in that instance would be no good because you've got different sizes within one cluster, and that's not saleable on on the supermarket shelf.
But it can feed a family.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Hopefully you're inspired. So just before the next part, Sam is going to tell you a little bit more about the flavour of these guys.
So my first impressions with like cooking and the flavour of potato onions is they are super sweet. They're more like a shallot, I think, than an onion. I cooked them. I sautéed them, so they were beautiful in like butter, but I can imagine they would really suit pickling as well, like quick pickles and salads. They don't have that kind of harsh, overly onioniness they still make you cry, but not, they don't hit the throat in that way. They did take a bit more to prep actually, because I don't know if you can see from that one, but they kind of like, they divide almost slightly like garlic does into these cloves inside. So you took all the external papery leaves off, and then inside you had these sort of like forming other additional layers that required peeling. So you lost a bit more of the onion, but it did mean that what you got inside was like really good, really nice, high quality, whereas sometimes onions I feel are a bit more, I don't know, you take the outside off and then you lose too many layers. So yeah, I would say they take a little bit more time to work with, but they are really sweet and very tasty.
Now, as Andrew mentioned, the way that you grow these is that they basically propagate a bit like you would with garlic. Garlic creates those cloves, you then separate those cloves and you plant them. And Claire started off with 10 bulbs and has since been propagating more and building up his stock. And so here's Claire telling you a little more about potato onions.
I saw somebody on YouTube, I can't remember who, but I saw a little like short video about potato onions on YouTube, and then I researched into them and I found 10 bulbs online year before last, and then I grew them out, and then I've grown them again last year, so next year now I'll take my first crop off of them. They grow quite nice and they're easier than onions because you don't have to start them from seed every year, so they just save a bit of time for me. So I bought 10 bulbs, they're about £1 each, and then I started them in module trays. I then transplanted them out into the garden. I gave them loads of fertility because they'd cost so much initially, and then I saved those. I lifted them, dried them, cured the onions as you would with onions or garlic, and then I kept them dry in the house then through the winter, and then again in spring this year I've planted them into modules, planted them into a fertile part of the garden, and then they're in the greenhouse drying at the moment now. There's some that are a bit subpar, smaller ones. I'd say I probably harvested about 200 bulbs, but they're not good enough to replant, I don't think. They're small.
Would you then eat those ones?
I've eaten a few of them raw to try them.
Why?
Curiosity.
What did you think?
Alright, a bit oniony, but...
Why do people call them potato onions? Do you know why?
Not a clue. It could who knows? It could be because they multiply like potatoes, but I don't know.
I think these are a very exciting crop, but at the end of the day, apparently it's how we used to grow onions. It's just fell out of fashion because of all of this industrial intensity of our food systems. But maybe sometimes it's worth going back to our roots, and it also serves technically as a perennial vegetable. So they're really exciting. Try and find yourself some potato onions. And if you have any experience with growing these, let me know down below.